Hey everyone, this is Zack Hample, and I'm here to talk about that foul ball that Todd Frazier hit yesterday, 105 miles an hour into the stands at Yankee Stadium, and it struck a little girl who thankfully was not killed by it. This is a very serious issue, and if you are a media outlet, feel free to use any portion of this video that you want, but please credit my YouTube channel. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Personally, I'm not a fan of netting behind the dugouts. I like to be able to see the action without looking through a barrier, and I like to be able to catch baseballs because that's what I do. I've caught over 10,000 balls, and I've been doing it for nearly 3 decades. But I also realize that I'm in the minority, and not everyone is there to catch balls. People want to watch the game and they want to be safe, but then again, other people don't necessarily want to watch through a net as well. So it's a really tough issue. But I think that nets really do need to be put up at every stadium to the ends of the dugouts. If you think about Major League Baseball itself and how the game has evolved, there was a time when batters did not even wear helmets, when catchers didn't even wear helmets, and there were serious career-ending injuries that could have been prevented. And when guys first started wearing helmets, it was like, oh, they're soft, they're weak, what are you doing? Be a man, play the game. But over time, of course, that changed, and then teams started to use helmets, but there were no ear flaps, right? And then the first team to wear ear flaps, it's like, what are these guys, a bunch of babies? But now, of course, that's just standard practice. And now guys have the elbow guards and the shin guards. Safety is just part of the game. And Major League Baseball is exploring ways to protect pitchers from getting hit by line drives. It's coming. This is just the way the world works. There were no airbags in cars once upon a time, and people didn't even wear seatbelts. But the world is trending to be a more safe place, and it's coming at Major League stadiums. Now, I have called teams recently when I'm going to games to buy tickets, and I'll actually ask, do you guys have netting up in front of the dugouts yet? And if they say no, my thought is, well, good, then I'm going to sit there because it's fun to catch baseballs. But even beyond that, it's fun to interact with the players. You can get autographs. You can get gum and sunflower seeds tossed up. So it's more than just catching a line drive coming at you. There's something very special about Major League Baseball and the sort of give and take and the interactiveness between fans and players and coaches. So I am sad to see that diminishing, and it's going to diminish more, but I think it has to happen. There's only one fan ever that's been killed by a foul ball at a Major League game, a 14-year-old kid in 1970 at Dodger Stadium. And, even one death is one too many, but I'm actually surprised that there haven't been more. I personally have not felt safe at times at Major League games, and I played college baseball. And of course, I've caught a lot of balls, and I'm always there with my glove. I remember being in Chicago at US Cellular Field. Now it's called Guaranteed Rate. I was sitting right behind the on-deck circle on the third base side of home plate in the front row, and there was no net in front of me, and I was practically in line with the foul line, down the right field line. I was looking at it. I was crouched down with my glove up in front of my face every time a pitch came to a left-handed batter, because I knew that if he just check swings it, it's going to zip back at my face 90 miles an hour, and I'll have half a second to react. So if someone like me can be nervous about sitting that close to the action, imagine the average fan who's not there with a glove, who may not be watching every pitch. And now, of course, people have their cell phones and their Apple Watches, and kids are there playing their little video games, not paying attention. The parents might not be watching. And of course, people should be paying attention, but the reality is that they don't. So the nets, I think, are important. And if I were to have kids, I would not feel good about them being in sections close to home plate unless they were sitting right by my side, because I could protect them. But I see kids wandering around. I see vendors selling hot dogs, selling sodas, turning their backs to the field. They could get drilled. And I think people don't realize the risk. Or maybe they realize it, but they think, the odds are 1 in a million. It's not going to happen to me. But it can happen. And so I think the nets are important. I think they should be mandatory. I think they are coming soon. And we're just going to have to deal with it. If you don't like watching the game through netting, sit in the second deck, sit in the upper deck, sit in the outfield, try to catch home runs. But it's got to be something that we see is bigger than like, I can't get an autograph, or I can't get a toss-up. Fan safety, I really think, is the most important thing. And as much as I dislike netting myself, I love baseball a lot more than that. So I'll continue to go to games and I'll continue to watch, even if the whole stadium is ringed with nets. I'll find a way to get baseballs. I'll find a way to enjoy it. So I just wanted to share those thoughts and, leave a comment on this video. Tell me what you think. Have you seen some injuries? Have you seen some close calls? I've certainly seen a lot of fans get nailed over the years, especially during batting practice when there's just ball after ball flying into the stands. And 90% of the time, maybe 97% of the time, it's a result of people not paying attention. But whatever the reason is, I just think we need to come together and make it safer for fans at games. And again, just deal with the nets. That's life. You got to do it. So just wanted to share these thoughts because everybody's talking about it now. I've been getting a lot of emails. Just did a TV interview actually with FaceTime, and it's just, it's something that a lot of people are talking about and thinking about, and so I wanted to weigh in here with my thoughts. So thank you guys for watching, and be safe out there.